In part 3 of our coverage about body cameras on law enforcement officers in Montana, the Montana Racial Equity Project gives us their stance on the emerging technology. MTN's Gabby Crevett spoke with the executive director to find out what it could mean for officers and for residents who are Black, Indigenous, and people of color.
Judith Heilman is a Black woman living in Montana who not only has experience living and working in racial equity and justice, but also has a law enforcement background. And she tells me the Montana Racial Equity Project not only supports body-worn cameras on officers, she tells me the organization supports them overwhelmingly. For the Montana Racial Equity Project, officer-worn body cams line up with the organization's goals of promoting and creating opportunities for equity and justice. As for the law enforcement officers, Heilman says they help with accountability. And for citizens,
it's a thing for them to be able to say if they felt like there was something that they were handcuffed inappropriately, that they shouldn't have been handcuffed, that they were detained inappropriately, that they were asked inappropriate questions, then it's on the body cam footage as well.
Heilman acknowledges the high cost of the technology and the in-depth policy work required to run a body cam program, but says the expense is worth every penny, which is why the widespread messaging of defund the police doesn't line up with the organization's values.
First off, I'd love to find another term other than defund the police. If it was something that just basically reallocate some police funds or something like that, that would be really, really wonderful.
For example, calls related to mental health, homelessness, substance abuse, and poverty-related issues might be better off directed to other professionals, freeing up some funds for body cams.
So it's a process. It's not anything that can happen right away. You have to gradually work towards this. You can't just flip a switch and say, okay, we're going to take away funding for half of your officers. That's ridiculous. But you can start chipping away at it.
Heilman says the Montana Racial Equity Project is ready and eager to be part of Bozeman's community engagement project about body cams, and says the agency should consider the next step forward as well.
I saw the interview that you did with the person from Belgrade Police Department. I really like the idea of cameras on weapons, on the firearms. I really do.
Reporting in Bozeman, Gabby Crevett, MTN News.